Well, and so I don't mean to let the cat out of the bag at all here, but I know you are one. Have you seen the movie Sinners?
Whoa. I'm a very perfect human being, minus all my flaws.
Is not the... And I mean, this is something I would need to brush up on, but is not in and of itself the proclamation of perfection, probably in some approximation.
Minus my flaws, I'm a perfect human being.
Right. Okay. So 1% of you is solid as gold.
Damn straight.
Have you seen Sinners?
No, I haven't seen Sinners. This is a fun. This is one of those weeks where, like, I'll just completely disclose this right now. I'm not going to bury the lead. I saw this film for the first time like 4 days ago. It seems like it's 4 days old. This came out this year. I don't know when it came out on DVD or whatever.
You can be closer. You adjust your microphone.
Well, it's because I'm still not in the right spot.
You have it pointed at your throat. There's
not in the right spot.
Nothing about...
If I was over there, it'd be better.
Nothing about where you're sitting at the table has anything to do with pointing a microphone at your throat.
It does.
It really does.
It does. It totally does.
It really does. Yeah. So I literally just saw this for the first time. By the time this episode comes out, it's probably October. And so...
And you were like, oh, crap, I got to show this to Carl.
I was like, I got to show Carl something kind of spooky. But I knew that it was going to be a little bit of a struggle because...
Are we going to let the twist out of the bag, or is this too fresh that we have to...
we should do a spoiler warning.
Spoiler alert! Because like air horn sound effect.
I don't have one of those.
Sirens or something. Warning! The following content will spoil the hell out of Sinner. Please be advised, if you have not watched Sinners, then turn off this and go watch it before you come back. Thank you.
You can pull the microphone a little bit further away. But that was good. That was a good... that works. That's... Yeah.
You've been warned. This is a vampire film.
but I knew I needed to show you something spooky, or I wanted to show you something spooky, but I also knew that I don't want to buy steak. And so
fair.
So I wanted to find, I was like, okay, I got to find something that is kind of scratches that October itch.
Yeah.
But also stands a chance at you really liking and scoring highly.
Yeah, sure.
And when I saw this like 3 or 4 days ago, I was like, first of all, I don't know what the hell just happened. But second of all, Carl might like this, so I need to show it to him.
Fair.
Hello and welcome to the Movie Men Podcast.
Because vampires.
Since the last time we released an episode, Carl's on drugs. That's that big podcast money.
Yeah.
The money starts coming in.
It goes straight into my head.
Well,
my pockets is getting full of quarters, and they're mighty heavy.
So you're buying cocaine with quarters? I don't understand.
That's what you're paying. You're paying me. The gag is you're paying me in quarters.
But I don't know how much.
Because we're not making that much.
I don't know how much drugs you're buying with quarters. Well, could have gone to the arcade. But I rode the
That
white,
is my drug of choice.
But I rode the White Frosty Mountain instead. Like, I don't know.
Hey, man, Dairy Queen's got some good Frosties.
No, they have...
Frosties?
They have Blizzards. Wendy's has Frosties.
Damn it. You're right.
I am.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I
Don't try to come to me about ice cream.
I know ice cream, but apparently I don't know restaurants.
I drove the other day to every grocery store in town. Listen, I don't buy a lot of ice cream or candy or like sugary stuff.
Yeah.
But every so often, if the mood strikes or I see a flavor that's like, then I go and I partake. Right? I'm like,
right.
Well, I don't have to feel bad about this because
So what flavor caught your fancy?
Well, so I was on Facebook just scrolling away, and an ad came up for also a brand that I would normally not buy too often, not because I don't like it, but because it's
pricey.
It's got a price tag on it. It's Cortha Dairy.
Yeah.
And they released 2 seasonal flavors, and I had every intention on going and buying both. On just being like, I'm going to get 2 1-liter tubs of ice cream, and hell with the consequences. And those 2 flavors were pumpkin pie.
Not a good... I've had pumpkin pie ice cream before. It's not that good.
Oh, I love it.
I did not know.
I love it. It's pumpkin-y, and it's got like bits of pie crust in it.
Yeah, which is why it's horrible.
Oh, that's why it's amazing.
No.
Why?
Because it's all soggy and cold and nasty. It does not
soggy.
Pie crust is supposed to be dry and crispy and flaky.
You're an idiot. And the other was spiced apple.
That's what apple pie's crust is supposed to, or any pie crust.
And the other was spiced apple ripple. And I was like, I'm just gonna go buy both of these.
That one would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go get both. Anyways, I drove to every grocery store in town. Nobody had it. No. So that was disappointing. Now, also, I think I drove around like the day that this ad was posted. Like 2 hours later, I'm out.
Ice cream stores. The ice cream is not shipped to the locations yet.
No, they're
it's not even October, man.
Yeah,
Come on, give it a month.
So I don't know. But yeah, so Sinners.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about it?
Let's talk about
Initial impressions?
Yeah, you go first.
This movie is really great. It's a lot of fun, both in terms of multiple moments of going, wait, what? Or what the hell is happening right now? It kind of flips the script on you a couple of times, I feel like. So in terms of that, in terms of what it's dealing with, in terms of its approach to making a vampire film, I think it's really good in that sense. And then just beautifully shot. Like, there are hundreds of scenes in this movie where you could just like take a frame and I would want that as a poster on my wall because it's just so pretty. Yeah. No, I think this is a really, 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 really solid film. And I'm looking forward to talking about it because I think there's some interesting things to unpack, some things to interpret and kind of speculate on. Having just seen Sinners for the first time, what's your initial impression of it?
Man, I feel like I can't jump in. I like monster movies.
Yeah.
Vampire flicks qualify as monster movies.
Yes.
But vampire films can also unlike you think of zombie films, and usually the kind of formula for a zombie film is pretty cut and dry. You can take some liberties and be creative, but
there's some sort of pandemic or something.
Vampire movies can do a lot of things. I'm going to get rambly with my...
That's fine.
Yeah. So a vampire film, in my mind, can go one of a couple ways.
Yeah,
they can do what this film...
beholden to a specific formula.
They can do what this film did and kind of hide the vampire story beneath another story, and the vampire story kind of overtakes the main story, kind of in paralleling the narrative that how a vampire takes over a human's soul and becomes a vampire.
Sure.
And, right. And then you can have one that's like very a vampire story that's kind of more in your face and upfront about what it is. Right. Bram Stoker's Dracula is a really great example of
the
that.
Castle
like,
and
like right from the get go, it's like, oh, this is Dracula. Yeah, this is a Vampire Diaries.
It was a show.
No, it was a film.
Twilight. Warm Bodies. No, that's
Interview
zombies.
with a Vampire. Is what I'm thinking of. Right, it does the same thing. Like right away, you're interviewing a vampire. Yeah. Right, it's the story of vampires and how they're living, and usually that's the narrative of those. Like you're getting more of a, this is the life of a vampire, kind of, sort of. Twilight's kind of like that. I've never watched Twilight, but I know that that's kind of the premise of it. And then there are, because it's been around so long, and this kind of goes with all monster movies, there's kind of the comedic level of vampires. So there's a British comedy. What's it called? That's about a bunch of British vampires. This doesn't
feel like an initial impression. This feels like meat and potatoes.
No.
Did you like it or didn't you?
So I feel like I needed to throw that kind of preamble out there.
Sure.
To kind of show like what kind of vampire are we watching, and then so we're dealing with obviously that first example.
Yeah.
And I think it does it pretty well. I don't know if it does it great. Maybe we'll have to talk about that and air that out.
Sure.
But it is fun. It does have great cinematography. But there were a few moments where I was like, does this film know what it is? Like it feels like it gets lost in its own story a little bit.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Yeah,
we can unpack that.
Let's unpack it.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll be my impression. Sorry for the preamble.
No, that's okay. Interesting. Okay. So I mean, unpacking what you sort of said about the approach to telling a vampire story here. One of the things that I love about it is that, it does have, you're like halfway through the film before you're like, wait, vampires?
At least a third before you realize, oh, there's vampires.
Yeah.
But then they reveal the vampire, and then you get at least like another quarter to a half before you ever get into more vampires.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they throw this vampire thing at you, and then you're sitting there like, are we still watching a vampire film, or is this old-timey gangster film?
But you also get through half of the film. Like the film starts out and you get Sammy coming into the church and a couple of like, not quite jump scary, but a couple of like dark, evil flashes of imagery. And then for half the movie, you almost kind of forget that was the beginning.
And I think they hide the lead really well in that because of the opening monologue.
Yeah, about summoning things.
Music can heal, or music can summon evil. And so when those flashbacks were happening, my mind never went to monster movie. My mind went to, he's having flashbacks to whatever horrible event it was, and in his mind, it's because of the magic of the music. There's an evil, people are appearing more evil that were the evil people doing bad things. But it was never a monster, any kind of.
So what I love about the approach that they take with the vampires is two things. One is that it's not a hit you over the head vampire film. It is a story about people. Like it's just a fascinating story about 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 the South in the 1930s, and two brothers that were up in Chicago working for Al Capone.
Yeah.
Who
two gangsters
have broken off and are doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Have got a bunch of bootleg booze
that they stole
and that they've stolen, and are going to go into
money.
Going to go into business for themselves. Have bought a mill and are going to open like a blues club, bar, party spot.
Yeah.
An interesting layer to that is that the white guys that sell them the bar or that sell them the mill.
He's like the Graham, Poobah, King Bob.
Yeah, they're KKK guys.
Clan. Yeah.
And this is like a thing they do. They sell it to black guys, collect the money, and then they come back the next day and kill everyone.
Yeah.
And then they sell it again. Right. And that's sort of alluded to at one point, right? When the brothers
ask if they clean the floor.
Yeah, like, wow, what was on the floors? Well, obviously it turns out it was blood, right? But so it's just this interesting story about the blues and about life in the 30s and a interesting cultural window into that time.
Yeah, slice of life, slice of time kind
and
of film.
While that's happening, it just so happens vampires.
Yeah.
Right? That this all gets up, that vampires are not the central point of the film. Right? And so vampires are just sort of...
But they become the central point of the film.
They become the central point of the film.
Which is where the
to an extent. Because it never stops being about the music. Right? Because even once the vampires... Like, music is a big part of that.
Yeah, they tie music in because the vampires are singing and dancing and
very Irish Celtic.
They're singing
stuff
and dancing stuff and
versus the blues.
Yeah,
and so I love that about their approach. The other thing that I absolutely love is one of the other things. This is true not only of vampire films; it's also true of zombie films. Is when you sit down to watch a vampire film or a zombie film, there's always that question that gets answered as you're watching, which is, okay, what kind of vampires are these? What kind of zombies are these? What are the rules of this world?
Right.
Are zombies slow and dumb and they die or they become zombies because they're bitten by another zombie? Is it a virus that they've caught? Is it a sort of a magical thing where just once you die you become a zombie? Like what is the thing? Same thing goes with vampires, right? There's different takes on vampires. I love that this film is like, no. This stereotypical garden variety, garlic, wooden stake, sunlight.
They follow all the old traditional rules.
You can't come in unless you're invited in. Like it is just, there's no, once you find out that it's vampires, there's no brain work that you have to do in order to understand the vampires. They're just...
Everything you would assume is a hindrance to being a vampire.
They're just storybook vampires.
Yeah, they didn't... And it they leaned into that in a really nice way. I mean, I don't know how they could have done more, like, because there is more things that they could have done, like no reflection and there's a few other kind of vampire tropes they could have used, but
I think it was a nice balance.
They did enough that you kind of just got enough that it's like, oh, this is a traditional tropey vampire.
Yeah. And I love that.
They can fly. They get the big teeth.
At the very least, like big unnatural leaps type of thing. Like we don't see someone flat out fly.
He's hovering. He's totally hovering in the end.
Is he?
He in my mind, he totally hovers down after what's his name jumps out of the barn and is in the water.
Yeah. So I want to read this quick little thing here about some of the central themes and symbolism of the film. Number one is obviously vampirism and exploitation. Mm-hmm. The vampires are more than just monsters. They symbolize colonizers who feed on the vitality of black culture, specifically the blues music. The vampire Remic's Irish origins allude to the pattern of formerly oppressed groups becoming oppressors, while their hunger for Sammy's music represents the appropriation of black art and profit from black creativity. The fact that vampires must be invited in highlights the danger of letting outsiders corrupt one's culture.
I would follow it through to the last one. Because the invitation thing is a long-standing trope.
Sure,
so they're adapting it to the film to work in that narrative. Sure.
Music as a resistance. The blues is a powerful spiritual force for the black community, and both attracts and repels the supernatural. It is an expression of collective memory and resilience that Sammy ultimately chooses over the false promise of immortality.
And Jesus.
Well, you know. Internal
we won't get into a spiritual conversation.
Internal conflict and assimilation. The twin brothers Smoke and Stack represent the opposing choices of resistance and assimilation.
Where are you reading this from? I can't see.
An article.
It's just an article. Okay.
Smoke fiercely protects his community, even in death, while Stack succumbs to the vampire's allure. Mary's story as a mixed-race woman who can pass for white illustrates the marginalization and assimilation faced by those caught between racial identities. Religion and freedom. The film contrasts Sammy's preacher father, who views the blues as sinful, with the genuine spiritual power found in Sammy's music and Annie's hoodoo practice. The title Sinners reclaims the word for those who fight for equality and resist a repressive, white-dominated Christian system. Again, it's just, Yep. And then black ownership and legacy. The movie explores the idea of true freedom being tied to the ownership and preservation of black creativity and legacy. Sammy's final choice to refuse vampiric immortality and instead live out his life as an unadorned, revered blues musician highlights the value of building an authentic and enduring cultural legacy. What I want to ask about, though, is there's a couple of things in this film that... So obviously music's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And it would appear in the film that the vampires, or at least our head, the Papa vampire in this, Remick, is of Irish descent.
Sure. Yeah.
And he becomes progressively, like when it starts out, he's all Mississippi. And then at the end, like when they're doing the Lord's Prayer, Remick's full on Irish.
Yeah. Letting his roots shine through.
And obviously they're doing this Irish. The music becomes progressively more Irish when we're hearing it from the vampires. They've got like this full like river dance.
Well, even when
Celtic
they
thing.
kind of first approach the barn, whatever it is, the slaughterhouse, it's the song they play is kind of got that
a little bit,
Celtic-Irish,
but they're singing it at that point. They're singing it with very strong Mississippi accents.
Yeah.
Sure. So obviously that's a big thing, and then the blues is a big thing, and the power of music. We also get this crazy, Slim sort of narrates a monologue about the power of music and how it can summon spirits or shadows or memories or whatever, not only from the past, but also from the future. And then we get probably the craziest and most wonderful continuous shot that I've seen in a film in maybe forever, where the camera is moving throughout the mill And even though this is set in 1937, all of a sudden we've got like break dancers and DJs but also music from like 1,000 years prior and all of this stuff. So what, aside from just being a fun aspect of the film, and sort of a natural side effect of, you know, the main set piece being a juke joint, what is the music like? What is the point of the music in this?
That was one of my issues. Like, because when I was in my initial impression, it's like this film is trying to tell a bunch of different things, or it doesn't know what it wants to be, or whatever. And that, yeah, the music that, like, I was expecting them to like break out after, like, once they realized the vampires were outside. Like, right. I was expecting somebody to start playing some blues as a protective barrier, kind of, right? Like, and it never happened. It was just like the pop, there's a term for like the vampire in charge. I can't remember it, Graham.
Yeah, whatever.
But like, vampires under the vampire are thralls. But anyway, the vampire wants him because he can summon he can play this special music. But then, like, outside of us seeing this kind of mysticalness in that one shot that you talked about, we don't really see anything special about the music outside of that, other than that, yeah, you real good at playing music, thumbs up.
Well, okay, so what I'm reading here, the vampire Remick is drawn to the juke joint by the powerful preternatural force of Sammy's music, which allows him to perceive across the spiritual threshold and seek out the young singer. Remick desires Sammy's musical gift, intending to remake him into his own image to gain control over the power, which is central to the film's central conflict. Music in Sinners goes beyond mere entertainment, weaving together mythology and the supernatural, along with the sacred and sensual, the sacred with sensual and the sinful.
Yeah, so the vampire's what was his name? Remick. Yeah, he does have like one quick line where he's talking to Sammy, right?
Yeah.
About like, I want your gift so I can see or call others or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, so I don't know. That whole plot line, they seem to put a lot of weight on it, and at the end of the day, it becomes a MacGuffin that means nothing.
Right.
Like, if a story has a MacGuffin, the MacGuffin has a power and ability that ends up being used in the end, usually
to win.
Yeah.
To save
and
the
in
day.
this case, we have a MacGuffin that is utterly useless.
Right.
So in terms of, like, you read that big thing about like the meaning of it behind the story, but in terms of the story, it's meaningless. They put a lot of weight behind it, but it doesn't do anything. It's really pointless.
I mean,
you could do this exact same story, cut out the dialogue at the beginning,
yeah,
and cut out even like any monologuing about the mystical power of the music and any conversation about it, and you have the same film that tells the same story.
Right. Still have the music in there, but just don't make a big deal out of it.
It's the same. The MacGuffin does nothing for this film.
Right. So then is it a MacGuffin?
They make it out to be. Because watching the film the whole time, especially when the vampires start attacking, I was literally expecting music to play a big part in the battle and in the fight to save them at some point somehow. I was expecting him to start playing guitar or like not in a, I don't know. I just expected it to be used somehow, and it was never really used the way I was anticipating, the way it felt like they were building it up to be.
Ultimately, the film suggests that the sin lies not in the music itself, but in the price one might pay for greatness. Sammy must risk his life and connection to his family to pursue his powerful gift. Sammy's... Yeah, I mean, you would also have to cut, you'd have to cut that great scene with the flashes of people from the past and the future and all that stuff, because if you don't make the music out to be a gift, a supernatural ability, then all of a sudden that scene makes zero sense.
I mean, you could edit it to just without those people there. Like,
but that's no fun.
It's not as an interesting one take for sure.
Yeah,
but you could still have it in there.
This power is channeled by the main character, blues singer Sammy, who can conjure the spirits of musicians from the past and future through his performance. However, this gift also attracts malevolent entities, most notably the vampires who seek to exploit this power for their own purposes. Right. So it's a supernatural ability that does good in the sense that it brings people together. And he has a gift, whether it be him or through that specific guitar, that allows him to tap into the skills and gifts of not only musicians past, but also future. It attracts evil things, can attract evil things. In this case, it attracts the vampires. And so it makes sense that the vampires want it. But it doesn't... his musical ability doesn't play any role in saving the day. No, but it's also not.
It's not a weapon. It's not a shield. It's
right. Like,
not really.
There's never a monologue where they say it's going to, or it has the power to defeat evil. It never says that.
This is true, but I don't know. It just
it just kind of subverts expectation.
Yeah, I did honestly feel like it would have played more of a role in helping to defeat the vampires.
Right.
And it didn't. I don't know. It was a little bit of I felt a little bit bait and switch.
Now, I want to ask you because, and maybe this is tied in, maybe this is the same thing, but there was a moment like when Smoke kills Remick, comes up from behind and sticks a stake through his chest. You were like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah. Did he teleport? How the hell did he get there?
Well, they've been out there doing he got chased down and he jumped out the same window that Sammy jumped out.
And ran past all those other vampires?
Well, because
none of those vampires saw him.
No, but
none of those vampires smelled him.
It's set up in that moment that all focus and attention is just on Sammy.
I don't know.
Because ultimately that's all they want. Sammy, right? Because they say, just give us Sammy, we'll let the rest of you live.
It felt I don't know. It felt like a teleportation gimmick. And I was just like, when? Okay. He was in the army. Maybe he got real sneaky. I don't know. But
I don't know. I interpret that as they've got their prize.
Sure.
They've got the only thing they're after. And they've even said once they get Sammy, they don't care anymore. Everyone else can go.
Yeah. Maybe he was able to sneak by when he took the guitar to the head.
I don't even think it's sneaking.
Because it happened after he took the guitar to the head, right?
Right. So, and everyone else is, is like...
That was his moment.
Retching in pain and whatever. Yeah. So it's not even sneaking, really. You probably just walked right past all these mostly incapacitated vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a minute, I was just like, how did he get there? How in the hell did he get from point A to point B?
Yeah. What do you think of the way the film builds tension and kind of like the first time I watched it, obviously it didn't give me this time because I was like, well, I know whether this is going to happen or not. But when Stack is on the other, Stack's come back to life, is now a vampire and is locked in the storeroom and has already stuck a knife through the door. But everyone just keeps putting their face up to this door.
I'm going to look through this knife hole. He won't. There's no way he'll put the knife through the door again.
Was that getting you? Were you like, oh, God, stop. Get your face away from the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not a lot. They don't really. They do the knife through the door. Interestingly, the one jump that got you was the same jump that got Brienne, which is the snake in the back of the truck.
Which, how the hell did that snake get up there in the first place?
I don't know. It was in one of the crates, and
maybe I guess.
I don't know, but yeah, no,
yeah, freaking snakes.
Is there anything else?
Had to be snakes.
Is there anything else you didn't like?
Once the vampire reveal happened, I could not shake that, and even now, it's just like this. In terms of kind of the basic bones of the story.
Right.
So not like the gangsters coming to a spot, a specific location, vampires, chaos, right?
Right.
Kind of that basic bones. It essentially rips off the basic bones of the story of another film that happened about 20 years ago.
Which is what?
Dusk Till Dawn.
In what sense? Like what are
that's the bones of that film.
Gangsters and vampires and
two robbers running away, and they hide out at this bar across the border, and it just happens to be a den of vampires.
Huh. Yes, many viewers and critics consider Ryan Coogler's film Sinners a ripoff of Robert Rodriguez's and Quentin Tarantino's From Dusk Till Dawn, due to the significant narrative and character similarities, including criminal brothers ending up in a secluded location, a mid-movie genre shift where they are trapped by vampires, and one brother being turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
While Sinners does incorporate these parallels, some argue it's a homage, with Coogler adding deeper themes like racism and cultural assimilation to create a distinct and more profound story than the campy From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, and that it is a little more. It's a little more campy, right? It's
so if anything.
Yeah.
It was Ryan Coogler saying, I appreciate this film. I'm going to give it the greatest form of flattery, which is imitation.
Yep.
And I'm going to make a better movie.
I was just going to say that, was it last week or 2 weeks, a couple weeks ago, where I was hitting that imitation as the sincerest form of flattery nail on the head over
when
and
we did
over
Big
again.
Fish. And we were talking about how it feels like a lot of other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Forrest Gump and whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
This kind of is very, imitation, sincerest form of flattery. And I don't think, I don't even know if he would go like, make it better. I would say, make it my own, right? Like, I see what you did here and I love it. And I'm going to do this with the bones of what you've done.
And it says here, Ryan Coogler he's acknowledged that From Dusk Till Dawn was an influence, suggesting the parallels were intentional, though not meant to be a straight copy.
Yeah. And I don't think they're definitely not a straight copy.
Yeah.
He definitely and that's why I've said like the bare bones. It's the bare bones of From Dusk Till Dawn, and he takes that and he does something completely different.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
is there anything
you haven't seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
No.
No, we're watching next week.
You say that a lot, and then we end up watching something else.
Yeah.
Was there anything you really liked?
The visuals were great. The cinematography was really on point.
Yeah.
The music was really good and fun.
Yeah.
I did like the introduction of the vampires wasn't subtle. It became a very kind of no, you know what? I would say it was subtle. Like,
because at first the
dude drops out of nowhere and he's like burning, and you're like, oh, this guy's been scalded by something.
Or is he from hell? Is he a demon that's been like
summoned?
What's happening?
So
and then it clicks, and you're like, oh, it was the sun.
Yeah,
he was just burning in the sun.
Yeah. So, I think that was pretty sad. But then, like the tropes that they chose to take, which is all apparently that they reveal were like subtle enough that you're like, because that is the thought that I had watching. Is like, what kind of vampires are these? Right? Are we talking Twilight here, where they just sparkle in the sun, or are we talking Bram Stoker Dracula? Right.
And it's much more Bram.
It is.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah. In terms of the tropes, so like not being allowed in, and where there's the three of them are sitting on, just invite us in. Can we come in?
Yeah.
Say we can come in.
Well, and they do it really beautifully, because the first vampire that we see that successfully gains access to the mill is Mary.
Yeah.
After she's gone out and talked with the three.
Yeah.
And she comes back and she meets with Cornbread at the door, who's running security. And she just, in a playful way, says to Cornbread,
"You gonna invite me in?
You gonna let me in, or you just gonna stand there blocking the door?" Right? Yeah. And he says, "No, of course, come on in." Right? Yeah. And that's like even at that point, you're like,
and
if you haven't seen the film yet, it's not abundantly clear. Like, it's really subtle the way they do that.
And talking about it now, it just hit me that that specific trope actually becomes a key plot point later on, in that the wife of the Asian couple is like, store owners, "Get on in here, you sons of..."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, okay, let's all go for a jump through the door."
Yeah. No, it becomes a big thing.
Yeah.
And even at the end, right? In that like mid-credit, whatever scene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The bouncer comes in. You okay if these guys come in and talk to you? And he's
that felt a little weird to me, that end credit scene.
Why?
Talking about that, now that we're hitting on it.
Yeah.
Because to me, it felt like Sammy's not a fighter. He's a musician.
Yep.
But he knows vampires are real.
Yep.
He knows they're drawn to his music.
Yep.
Maybe he's not Captain America, vampire hunter, Blade, whatever.
Right.
But surely he could be Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury putting together a team of vampire hunters to protect him and the world.
I mean, so two things. There's two things.
I was expecting the brother and the two vampires in the end to get stabbed.
Mary and Stack. Keep in mind, Sammy thought
they were dead.
Sammy thought that all the vampires died.
Right. But all the vampires that were there.
Right.
Surely he's not naive enough to believe
that's all the vampires
that they're
ever.
Extinct.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I do like that scene because what that scene does is adds another layer or pulls a layer off of the vampires in this film and reveals like that, at least in the case of Stack and Mary, they're still in there. It's still very much them. And we get to see
their souls are trapped.
We get to see a humanized version of them that are not this like bloodlust, whatever, under the rule of Remick. Yeah. Right. And it's this like, I miss my brother.
Yeah.
Haven't seen the sun in 60 years. Mm-hmm. Right. And I miss, we have all your albums and your new stuff's okay, but I miss the old stuff. Yeah. Right. I miss it so much. Right. And so I think that's a fun, it kind of, it just adds a layer to the walking purgatory that is being a vampire, that you're just kind of trapped, wandering the earth.
And that they have some free will and some honor there.
Yeah.
The only reason he
promised
didn't take
my brother.
him, promised him I wouldn't touch you.
Yeah.
And he's probably by that point in the film, he's obviously well-to-do.
Yeah.
He got a big stack gold knuckles.
Ring. Yeah, that was cool.
Not even a ring. It's their knuckles right across all. Like he's probably like the big grand poobah vampire of the area.
Could be.
And nobody is allowed to touch him.
He's the
even
Remick.
though you're drawn to him.
Yeah. And Mary's is Queen. Is arm piece or whatever that. Yeah, you don't mess with her either.
No.
Yeah. We should talk about Michael B. Jordan playing two characters in this film.
That's fun. There was a few points I was like, is this two actors or is this both Michael B. Jordan?
No.
It's both,
they're both him. And not only does he do a great job of playing two similar characters, but also two distinctly different characters.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just, what a wondrous, because we've seen this before, whether it's, Eddie Murphy sitting around a dinner table playing 6 different characters but you're only ever seeing one face on at a time, or you're seeing 2 face on, but they're not interacting with each other. They're not, man, the scene, the shot where Smoke and Stack are like sharing and passing a cigarette back and forth, you're just like, man, what a time to be alive. Like, what a great looking shot.
It makes you wonder, though, a little, like, this is just fun wondering. I don't have a problem with the casting of this, but like, when you're in the casting room and you're like, all right, call in Michael B. Jordan. He's probably going to be our lead. We did kind of want him. Yeah. Bring him in here. And he like, all right, I'm going to read for the main guy, Stack. Do you mind if I read for Smoke too? Just in case you want somebody else for, okay. And then they're like, they bring in everybody else and like, man, Michael just knocked out of the park for both of them. Yeah. I don't think we're going to find anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, what point did they go from being brothers, older and younger potentially, if at all, to being twins?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good chance that it was like that. Maybe they set out to make a story about twins and have one actor play. It's very possible that this was written for him. Right? That's not unheard of either.
Yeah.
That the role was kind of written with him in mind. But yeah. Anything else that you think is important to touch on?
I think I hit all my things.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think that's it. We've covered a lot of things. We've covered acting. I think they do a great job. I think the guy that plays Remick has a standout performance in this.
He's creepy when he needs to be creepy, and he's kind of like. Well, there are moments where he's like trying to convince him that's not bad. I'm just trying to help you people, and you're like,
yeah.
Maybe I'd step out the door and get bit. He's a nice guy.
But he does it in this like there's this unsettling nice, like even when he's not being creepy, nice. He's still creepy, right? And it's like there's something about
it's a convincing creepiness.
Just them standing outside the door.
Charisma is just a little too high.
Playing this song all in unison, right?
When he rolled up his vampire D&D character, he got a high 20 roll on his charisma score.
Well, because there's something just not human about them, right? Like when Mary's talking to them and she's like, yeah, I just lost my mother. And he's like, right? And the other guy's like, that's a hurting feeling, right? And he's like, well, yeah, sure is a hurting feeling, right? But it's just got this like, not human, but not obviously not human. Yeah, it's so well done. Mm-hmm. So well done. Okay, let's score this.
Sure, you go first, sir.
This is my second viewing in a week. And the first time when the movie ended, I was like, I think I liked that. But you did this with another film. You did this with Electric State, where you had just recently watched it and you're like, but I got to watch it again and maybe watch it with someone else so we can like
get another opinion,
talk it out and stuff like that. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10.
Really?
I think it's really good. And the only reason I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 is
so
because
that you can boost your score.
No, is because I don't quite feel like giving it a 9.5.
Okay.
There's enough little things about it that like, a little bit further explanation of this, or like a little, present this a little bit more clearly. And I think it would have boosted the score up. But all in all, fun to watch, entertaining, pretty to look at, pretty to listen to. The music's great. And just, especially on a first watch, just a wild ride, because it's like, wait, what? Vampires?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, what score do you give Sinners on a scale of 0 to 10?
This feels like a tough one for me, I think. I want to rate it high because it was fun. It was great.
Yeah.
But then I think it's a MacGuffin. The music never landed the way I felt if I was anticipating it should have.
Right.
So I feel like that hurts it.
Not the quality of the music, but the purpose of it.
I think the actual narrative story they're telling gets a little bit muddy. Like they do the kind of late vampire twist thing that I talked about in my initial impression. But like there's that, but then there's also, it feels like it's supposed to be a mobster gang movie. They're setting up like a gang.
Well, I think first and foremost, it's a movie about racism and
sure, right. But like, I feel like I'm kind of comparing it from Dusk Till Dawn, which I haven't seen in a dog's age, so it's been a while. But
what breed of dog? Because that makes a big difference.
Oh, Jack Russell. It's
Oh, okay.
It's messy but tough. It's
no, but I just mean in terms of life expectancy.
Oh,
a dog's age is
probably 15 years, maybe.
Okay, so like a medium-sized dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like from Dusk Till Dawn, from robbery to getaway to vampire reveal is probably a third of the movie too. But like once the vampires hit, it doesn't jump back to trying to tell a different story, the old story again.
Right.
It's now this is a vampire story, flat out. Right. It just feels like this one's doesn't do it as cleanly. Maybe.
I like that though, because it's like, hey, there's vampires and this is really awful and gross and gruesome. And now this woman's husband is no longer her husband. And then the film kind of tries to force you to go back to like, and it's opening night. And you're like, oh,
vampires.
But vampires. And this is not going to go well. And then little things like even though, you know, the vampire thing hasn't gotten crazy yet, but Cornbread's like, I'm going to go take a leak. And you're like,
don't go outside, Cornbread.
Don't do it. So it's almost like the audience being in on something.
There is some tension there. I'll agree. But I don't know. It didn't stick for me.
Okay. It's film subjective.
I give it an 8.
An 8.
Okay. I feel like I was leaning to a 7.5, I think, but I think it did, like, paying homage to From Dusk Till Dawn, like we kind of read about. It did do that really well.
Yeah.
He did do his own thing to distinguish it really well. I don't think he did it as well as he could have. So yeah, sure, 8. Yeah, we'll stick it an 8.
I'll take it. I showed you a horror film and you scored it an 8. That's
monster film, but
which is a subgenre of horror.
We'll split hairs.
Which is a subgenre of horror. No, it totally is.
No, it's its own thing.
Monster movies are meant to scare people.
No.
Yeah, they totally are. No. Monster movies are meant to scare people.
Horror is the different type of scare people, though. I don't think I would not lump.
But that's like saying a slasher film is not a horror film.
A slasher film's not a horror film.
So what is a horror film then?
I don't know.
Right? You're like,
I'm debating this, but I have no evidence to back it up. I'm going to circular reason the hell out of this argument.
Like Saw is not a horror film.
Yeah.
Right? Like a body gore type thing is not.
I don't know. They just I guess at the end of the day, my reasoning is completely subjective, and it comes I would say it comes down to the feeling you have when you watch the movie.
Right, which for most people
when we watch the series of horror films that you made me watch last year, right? There's almost a constant tension.
Right.
That's building and releasing, right? With the kind of the whole idea of a jump scare.
Like a slasher.
But I don't think slashers do that.
He's in the closet. Don't go in the closet. Oh, God, don't. It's behind you.
They're too... maybe I haven't watched a decent enough slasher.
No, I'll get you caught
but
up.
But like...
We'll watch Prom
when I watch Saw, I don't think it's the same. I've watched 1 or 2 Saw films.
Yeah.
And I don't get the same tension that I get when I watch The Nun.
No, and every horror affects people in different ways, right? Like there are people that can watch something like Saw. I don't find Saw scary. I just find
it's
Saw
disgusting
upsetting.
and unnerving. Yeah. Sure, but and I think for me that's why it's not a.
But there
doesn't create and release tension the way a horror film does.
But keep in mind that there are people out there who would have found this movie tonight, or at least the second half of it, completely unnerving. Completely unnerving, right? So different horror just works for... It's like roller coasters, right? Or rides at an amusement park. Some rides do it for some people. Others, they go, no, I find that one boring, right? That motion doesn't do it for me.
Well, for me, monster movies aren't horror, so suck it.
Okay, what'd you watch this week?
We did watch something. We got on. I'm still at my in-laws' place,
right?
but they have a TV downstairs and a TV upstairs. So a few evenings we went downstairs and borrowed their CBC Gem account.
I'm so sorry. What?
Yeah. Right?
CBC Gem.
It's the CBC streaming service. And there's a...
Hey, no, hang on. Okay, they've got like Schitt's Creek on here.
It's a weird title for a streaming service, first off. Whatever brainwave thought of that one, there's my taxpayer dollars at work. Thanks. Anyway, there's a film on there called...
Worse than NBC Peacock or whatever.
There's a show on there called Poker Face. Weird, a little bit weird premise. Kind of like a detective solving thing, like Murdoch Mysteries or Psych or what's the one with the neurotic guy who's a police detective that gets kicked off the force because he's a clean freak and
I don't know.
Anyway, so it's like that. The main character can just tell when people are lying. Like,
okay,
they don't really get into how. It's just we're telling you she can, and that's the premise of our show. So take it or leave it. And they do a pretty decent job of kind of playing it up. And she's not a police officer or anything. The premise of the show is when she was young, she used her ability to play cards, play poker really well because she could tell when people are bluffing or not just by looking at them.
Right.
And she gets roped into like working for a casino because they caught her, quote unquote, not cheating, but cheating. They figured out her ability and blacklisted her from the gambling community or whatever. And now she's under their thumb and she gets away from them. And the rest of the series so far is she's kind of episodic where every new episode, she's in a different town or place and somebody happens to die in every episode so far. And she realizes something's amiss and her kind of need to figure out why people are lying helps her to uncover the truth of the murder and then tips off the cops and runs away before the cops catch up to her or the mobsters catch up to her.
Right.
It's kind of fun. It's been kind of fun.
On
CBC Gem. On CBC Gem. Ugh, what a name. That's such a weird name. I don't
just
get it.
Find it impressive that I've never heard of CBC Gem.
Your tax dollars at work. It's a subscription service. You think if it's a paid for service that this might like CBC loses money hand over fist. You think they would promote something that would make the money a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, they have Schitt's Creek. It's probably only Canadian content.
Like if there's something that's not, it's like 5 to 10% not probably.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah, Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, like you're gonna have
Marvelous Miss Maisel.
I don't think what we're watching, Poker Face, is Canadian by any stretch because she's traveling across America and it's not Canada.
Poker Face comedy drama series. Oh, she's she looks familiar.
She looks like MacGyver. That's a couple of times I've been like, dude, this is like female MacGyver, but instead of
Natasha
using odds and ends to save the day, she's using this special ability.
Yeah, she was in a bunch. She's in Orange is the New Black. But she's also in American Pie. She was in the early 2000s. She was in a bunch of those like teen film things,
kind of raunch comedies.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Simon Helberg's in it from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, well, the episodic nature of it, they can bring in kind of a few big names for, like the first episode. Oh shoot, what's his name? There's a big name in the first episode. You might see it before I get there.
I'm not looking anymore.
Brody, something Brody.
Adrian Brody?
Yeah. Yeah, Adrian Brody's in it. He's in the first episode.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they could, because it's episodic, they could every once in a while splurge on a big actor to kind of lift the show a little bit.
Well, and it also, it sounds like they created by your favorite director. Interesting.
Who?
Yours. Your favorite director created this show.
Who is?
How many episodes did he direct?
What?
No, hang on. Don't look. Don't kill my punchline.
No,
come on. Don't kill my punchline.
Just tell it already. You could drag me through the mud.
Interesting. Yeah. Ryan Johnson directed the first 4 episodes and created the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Didn't know.
Yeah. I don't know why you hate Ryan Johnson so much.
Do I hate him?
Don't you?
I don't. Why do I hate him?
Because he directed The Last Jedi.
Oh. I like Knives Out. Knives Out's awesome.
Glass Onion.
Yeah.
And what's the new one called?
Knives Out. Yeah.
Dead Man something.
Yeah. Is it out now?
Wake Up Dead Man? No. It's coming out.
I don't know if I hate him. I think he butchered
It's coming out.
Star Wars, but
I don't know when it's coming out. It's coming out this year, December 12th.
I think part of him butchering Star Wars wasn't all his fault. I think Kathleen Kennedy's got half that cross to bear.
Well, I mean, you're assuming, or do you know how much influence she had in the film?
Oh, well, she's the one that would have hired him.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that means nothing. That's like saying no. That's like saying if I owned a business and I hire a guy and 2 months after I hire the guy, he steals from the cash register. That's like, and then I go to the police and the police go, "Well, you hired the guy, so you stole from the cash register." I think a better analogy
is if you're going to stick with the restaurant, poke holes in analogies all you want, but better analogy would be
I plan to.
You own a restaurant,
yeah,
and you think I'm gonna make a sushi restaurant,
okay,
and so you hire a good sushi chef, and
you're
like, you're gonna only work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday I'm bringing in a brisket smoking Texan to make sushi.
What? Sorry, can you explain the analogy?
You're trying to create a cohesive narrative story.
Right.
You hire one director for one film, a different director for writers for and a different director and writer for the last one.
Yeah, because
they're not. You can't. How do you tell one cohesive story with several different writers and directors?
Yeah, because J.J. Abrams only wanted to do one.
Yeah, well then hire somebody else.
So the fact that the original trilogy is directed by 3 different directors,
still written and produced by one man.
How confident
George
are you?
Lucas.
How confident
George Lucas wrote it all.
How confident are you?
George Lucas wrote it all?
Yeah.
Very. He might have had people helping, but he was the architect.
He created the world, yes.
He had final say on everything.
Sure.
This is his baby.
Yeah.
You have one person leading.
There are 2 writers listed for Empire Strikes Back in front of George Lucas.
And George Lucas doesn't have final say? Is that what we're saying?
He would have had final say in terms of being an executive producer, but he was neither of the lead writers and he was not the director.
But he's on set making calls about everything. He's picking. He's picking ship designs. He's picking what aliens look like. He's doing things a director would be doing.
Only because he owns the IP. That would be his only. In that scenario, that'd be his only
yes, you have one person
ability to
steering
be
the
able to do
ship,
it.
making sure everything's clean and cohesive.
Right.
And I don't think Kathleen Kennedy was doing that at all.
Well, or she was, and you just didn't like her version of it.
Or she wasn't doing it well, and it's crap.
Right? Like,
She was bad at it.
because there's some bad MCU films. Like even in even in the Infinity Saga
Oh, yeah.
before Endgame.
There's fewer before Endgame, but
There's fewer.
yeah. Like,
But there are still some. And there are some great things that came out from Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy.
a few.
Right? Like Andor. Mandalorian.
There's, I think there, I mean, we're getting way off.
No,
the
yeah, that's
topic of the film. But like, from things that I've heard from insiders, like that or people that know people from YouTube, YouTube channels or whatever, like there's been a power struggle between Kathleen Kennedy and
Dave Filoni. Yeah.
for a long time.
But to be fair, in that regardless of what people want or how it should be or how it shouldn't be, in that, like if you're looking at it from a purely objective standpoint, Kathleen Kennedy was appointed by George Lucas. Kathleen Kennedy is Dave Filoni's boss. And so when it comes down to brass tacks, Kathleen Kennedy would be wise to let Dave Filoni have some creative control over projects. But if Kathleen Kennedy were to say, no, I'm in charge, I'm the boss, then Dave Filoni's the right thing in that scenario for Dave Filoni to do is learn your place. You're not the head of this company.
Not necessarily.
That's how a company works.
Well, that's how a company works. But if he knows the IP better, and he knows that that character would never do this thing, I'm going to push back on this. Right. I will go above your head if I have to.
But even Dave,
then he can very well do that too.
So I mean, right, and then he can get fired. But
or he could get promoted, or he could he could have.
But I mean, Dave
Kathleen
Filoni
Kennedy
also
told to leave him alone.
Dave Filoni also has blunders.
Oh, sure, everybody's got some blunders.
And so I mean, by that standard, if the person who knows Star Wars the best should be the one running Star Wars, then Sam Witwer gets the job. Yeah. And Dave Filoni
agreed.
Starts working for Sam Witwer. Yeah.
Agreed.
All right.
Did you not say what you watched this week?
I wasn't asked, so
I thought I did.
No.
Oh. No. I thought it. And then we got on a tangent.
Yeah.
What did you watch?
Star Wars.
All right. Now.
We finished Book of Boba Fett. And so we'll be going on to Mandalorian Season 3.
Cool.
We watched Spider-Man 3.
Oh, yeah. With your mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a movie I forgot to mention to you last week in all the hubbub.
Hit it up.
I watched a film. Friend of the show, Emily Mater, showed us a film that I had no interest in whatsoever.
Was this like a, hey, you got to watch this kind of thing?
Oh, yes. Yes. After a couple of instances of nagging, we're like, okay, we'll come over and we'll watch it.
Okay.
Terrible name. A name that like just put me right off. And I'm like, no, not for me.
I feel like I'm going to have to break out my phone to look at this.
No, you won't. You'll know as soon as I say it.
Oh, will I?
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm not interested. Like, it doesn't sound like it's for me. Anyways, ended up loving the film. A film that your daughter was made to watch while over at Emily's house babysitting.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
We watched K-pop Demon Hunters.
Right.
And it's spectacular.
I've heard this a few times.
Yeah. And so you'll be seeing it. Don't you worry. I'll show it to you. But I think we have to line up a day that Emily can be here to record it as well, because I think she wants to be part of that review.
Okay.
Oh, I think their kids. I think that movie has probably been played in that house 24 times easily. Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's all I watched.
That's funny.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We have a merch page. We have a Patreon page. You can support the show, get some fun perks in return, and until next time.
Don't
Do you know what's really
invite people into
exciting?
your house.
You know what's really
Period.
exciting? It'll come out sort of out of order because at the time of recording this episode, it's not going to come out for like 3 weeks. But between this episode coming out and the next episode coming out, Carl and I will have gone to see a new release. We're going next week to see a new release, which the podcast is paying for. So,
Okay. What is it?
don't sweat it. Speaking of which, happy spooky season. Because at the time of recording, tomorrow drops the newest and latest and last Conjuring film.
Oh.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm so excited.
I'm a little stressed about going to see a horror film with
So
you in the theater just
excited.
because I think you're going to scream.
I'll walk out.
It'd be a lot,
Screw this,
draw
man.
a lot of attention.
Although, if it's anything like the last couple Conjurings, it'll be more drama than horror.
And I've also, like, I've gotten you warmed up or desensitized a little bit or whatever.
Well,
you've
we'll
got
see.
some
It's
thicker
been
skin.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So,
And never that big and never that loud and,
yeah.
yeah. Woo! IMAX.
Yeah.